Hello everyone, welcome to the first lab of ALD. In this lab, we will be implementing vector multiplication of two n-sized vectors in SDSS. Okay, so let us start with the lab. First, we need to create an SDX application project. So for this, you have to first click on File, then New, then SDX application project. Let me give it a name as App1 Demo. You can either use your default workspace location or you can use any other location by clicking on the Browse option. Here we are selecting Z-board as it is available with us. In the system configuration, select Standalone, click on Finish. It takes some time to create the application project. Yeah. So in the project.sdx window, you can see that our project name is Lab1 Demo. The project is SDSOC. The platform, that is the board that we have chosen, is Z. The system configuration is standalone. And the target, since we don't have the hardware with us, we will select emulation. Okay, so now let us include the files. So basically we will be creating three files. First is main.cpp that will be implemented in the processing system. Next is a header file for the vector multiplication operation. This header file will contain the function declaration. It is a vector multiplication function declaration. And then another file is mul.cpp. So this .cpp file will actually contain the function definition of the vector multiplication of two n-sized vectors. Since I have already written the code, so let me copy this. After writing all the code, let me save all the files. So let us start with vecmul.h. So as already said before, so vecmul.h is the header file. It contains the function declaration, that is vecmul. It takes two input vectors, each of size n. So here n is defined as 512, and actual out will give the output of this to vector multiplications. Vecmul.cpp actually contains the function definition of this vecmul. So here also we are giving two inputs and this is the output. So here we are actually calculating the vector multiplication operation. Here we have already included the header file vecmul.h such that this vecmul.cpp will identify this vecmul function that has been already included in the vecmul.h. Next, start with the main.cpp. So here we are doing this vector multiplication operation 10 times. So this construct if and if and end if, these are used together. So this defines that if num underscore tests is not defined before, so it is taken as 10 now. So earlier if I define, like before this statement, if I define num underscore test as 10, as let's say 12, so num underscore test will remain as 12 and not 10. So previously if it is not defined before, then we are defining it as 10. So if and if and end if means this. Now here we are including some vector files. So hash include vecmul.h has been included as it already contains the function declaration, vectmul function declaration. That's why we have included this vectmul.h. int types.h, this header file has been included because you can see, like if you right click on it and click on open declaration, you can see that this PRI to get the to print this unsigned int 64, this PRI 64 is used. You can see over here PRI unsigned 64. So this is a fixed width unsigned integer. So for printing this of kind of data types, so we need this kind of header files. Let us go back to the main. sds underscore lib.h, it contains this function sds underscore clock underscore counter. So to include this, so this function is already included in sds underscore lib.h. So if I don't include this header file, so this function won't get executed and it will throw an error. stdint.h is used for unsigned int 64 underscore t. So if you right click on it and do open declaration, so inside it there is another header file like stdint.gcc.h. So if we again do open declaration, so here you can see like unsigned int 64 underscore t has been defined over here, which has been used in the main.cpp. So that's why we have used these header files. stdlib.h is used for the malloc function for allocating arrays that we have done, for allocating these vectors a and b. That's why we have included this header file. And iostream is for the standard input output. Okay, so let's start with the code. So void vectmul underscore golden. So this is the function that will calculate the vector multiplication operation in the PS. So this is our reference. We are actually calculating the reference so that the output that we get from the PL to match it with the PS. So this vectmul underscore golden will be executed in our PS, and this will be our reference. So init underscore arrays will initialize this input vectors like a in and b in, and we are initializing it like this. And golden out and actual out, these are the two output vectors. So since they are defined as float, so we are defining it as 0.0, 0.0. Now result underscore check this function will check actually that whether our reference is matching with the actual output. So actual output is what we are getting it from the PL, and if there is a mismatch, we are returning 1, else we are returning 0. Next we come to the vectmul check function. So here we are actually calling the vectmul underscore golden and vectmul, these two functions. So one is this vectmul function is being executed in the PL, and this vectmul underscore golden function is being executed in the PS for calculation of our reference. Here we are using a counter to count the number of cycles that it takes to complete this function. Similarly for the vectmul, so both the functions we are calculating with the help of one single clock with respect to one single clock, that is sds underscore clock counter. And here we are checking like if our golden out and actual out does not match, then we are returning 1. Because over here, if our golden out does not match with our actual out, we are returning 1. So here if 1 will give true. So if it is true, then it will return 1. So then we are not calculating the number of software cycles and number of hardware cycles, so it will automatically come out of the main loop. And if it returns 0, so if 0 will be false, so it will not return 1, then we are checking like, yes, our actual is matching with our golden, and then we are calculating the number of software cycles and hardware cycles. So in main, So for operating with all these variables, we are first doing memory allocation for these variables, like for a in, b in, and golden out and actual out. So if memory allocation fails, so we are freeing out this memory space. Here we are initializing like function check. So this function check will actually return 0 if there is no error, like our actual matches with our golden, and it will return 0. So if function check, if this vecmul check returns 0, so this func check value will be 0, and if not of 0 means if this is 1, then printf pass, so we will get output as pass, or else we will get fail. So finally, after the operation is being done, we are freeing out the memory space, like a in, b in, golden out and actual out, we are freeing out. So this is all about the code. Okay, so now before building the project, first we need to move this Ecmal function to the hardware. Select it and click on OK. So once you have moved this Ecmal function to the hardware, then you can start building the project. To build the project, right click on the project and click on Build Project. So as you can see from the console, it has started building. You will see that it will start creating a Vivado project with a block diagram, and then it will generate a target. Okay, so the build has now completed. So let us run it on the emulator. So to run it, right click on it, run as launch on emulator. So let us restart the emulator and run. So it has launched the TCF GDP client, and you can see that it is connected to the localhost using port 1138. Here you will get the output. So yeah, so here you can see that the output finally came. The average number of software cycles is 11620, and average number of hardware cycles is this. So we are not getting any improvement by moving the vect malfunction in the hardware. So simply moving the function to hardware won't make any improvement in the execute, won't guarantee any improvement in the execution time. So we are seeing that average execution time in software is this, and average execution time in hardware is like 4 seconds, which is very much big. Okay, so now one thing I need to show to you, uh, that where all these block diagrams are getting created. So for this, you can open your workspace, inside which you can see that this lab 1 demo is being created. So inside debug, then underscore STS, then P0, then Vivado, then VPN, and then project. Here, if you double click on it, it will open the Vivado project. So once the project got open, you can click on Open Block Design. So if you can see over here, like we have this vectmul underscore one. So this function got created, this IP got created in the PL, and there is an HLS symbol over here. Okay, so this pretty much sums up our lab one.